Korea has a gift for turning everyday household annoyances into problems that simply no longer exist, usually with a clever appliance you never knew you needed. Walk through an ordinary Korean home, and you keep meeting little machines that quietly make life better. Here are 13 Korean home inventions you will wish you had at home tomorrow. First, the massage chair as a normal piece of furniture. In Korea, a full-body massage chair in the living room is not some rare extravagance. It is a common fixture, parked right beside the sofa and used by the whole family. After a long day on your feet, you sink into it, hit a button, and let it knead the tension out of your back, shoulders, and legs while you watch television. It quietly turns the simple act of sitting down to relax into something genuinely restorative. Instead of carrying the day's stiffness to bed with you, you melt it away at home, on demand, for free, as many times as you like. Once a household has one, nobody can quite imagine giving it back, and it quietly becomes the most fought-over seat in the whole home. Second, the portable butane burner. Almost every Korean kitchen has a small, self-contained gas burner that runs off a cheap butane canister, ready to bring to the table or take outside at a moment's notice. Suddenly, you can cook a bubbling stew right in front of your guests, grill at the table, or make a hot meal during a power cut with no fixed stove required. It quietly frees cooking from the kitchen and turns any flat surface into a place to make something hot. For shared, cook-it-yourself meals, camping trips, or just a cozy dinner at the table, it is one of those humble, inexpensive tools that turns out to be endlessly, surprisingly useful. Third, the water-circulating heated mattress pad. Rather than heating an entire cold bedroom all night, Koreans often warm the bed itself with a pad that circulates warm water through soft tubing, wrapping you in gentle, even heat exactly where you sleep. It avoids the dry, stuffy air of cranked-up central heating and the faint worry of older electric blankets, giving you cozy warmth for a fraction of the energy. On a freezing winter night, climbing into a bed that is already warm is a small, profound luxury. It heats the person, not the empty room, and it quietly makes the cold months something to look forward to rather than dread. Fourth, the steam clothing closet. One of Korea's cleverest home inventions is a tall cabinet that uses steam and gentle motion to freshen clothes without washing them, lifting out odors, wrinkles, and dust from a coat, a suit, or yesterday's jacket. You hang the garment inside, shut the door, and it emerges crisp and renewed a short while later. It quietly solves the awkward limbo between clean and dirty, the things you have worn once but do not want to launder or iron. For delicate fabrics, winter coats, and clothes that just need reviving, it is the kind of machine you never imagined wanting until you have used one, and then you cannot picture your home without it. Fifth, the ceiling-mounted laundry lift. In many Korean homes, the laundry drying rack is fixed to the ceiling of the utility balcony and lowered on a pulley or motor when you need it, then raised back up out of the way once your clothes are hung. Your washing dries high up in the warm, moving air near the ceiling, while the floor below stays completely clear and usable. It quietly fixes the eternal problem of where on earth to put a bulky drying rack by simply moving it up into wasted space overhead. You get all the drying room you need without sacrificing a single square foot of floor, and it folds neatly out of sight when you are done. Sixth, the countertop food waste dryer. A growing must-have in Korean kitchens is a compact machine that dries and grinds your food scraps, shrinking messy, smelly waste down into a small, dry, odorless handful. Instead of a dripping, reeking bin attracting flies under the sink, you have a tidy little appliance that quietly neutralizes the worst part of kitchen garbage. It cuts the volume of food waste dramatically, kills the smell, and makes disposal far cleaner and less frequent. For anyone who has ever dreaded dealing with a slimy food waste bin, it is a small daily miracle, turning one of the kitchen's most unpleasant chores into something you barely have to think about. Seventh, the indoor smokeless grill. Koreans love grilled meat, so it is no surprise they perfected the electric tabletop grill that lets you cook it indoors with barely any smoke, drawing fumes and grease away as you go. You get the sizzle, the flavor, and the fun of grilling right at your own table, without setting off the smoke alarm or leaving the whole house smelling of dinner for 2 days. It quietly brings the joy of a barbecue restaurant into the living room, any night you like, rain or shine. for shared meals and lazy weekends. It turns cooking into part of the entertainment rather than a chore done out of sight in the kitchen. 8th, the dehumidifier built for humid summers. Korea's summers are famously hot and sticky, so the home dehumidifier has become a quiet hero, pulling the heavy moisture out of the air to keep rooms fresh, laundry drying fast, and mold at bay. The difference it makes is immediate. A clammy, oppressive room becomes crisp and comfortable, and damp clothes finally dry on a rainy week. It quietly solves the misery of muggy air that fans only push around. For anyone who has suffered through humid summers, struggling with mildew and laundry that never quite dries, it is the kind of appliance that transforms a season from something to endure into something perfectly livable. 9th, the robot vacuum that mops too. Korean homes embrace the robot floor cleaner early and thoroughly, and the modern versions both vacuum and mop, gliding across the floors on a schedule, then returning to their dock to empty and clean themselves. Because Korean life happens so close to the floor, where people sit, eat, and even sleep, keeping it spotless really matters, and the little robot handles it without anyone lifting a finger. You come home to clean floors every single day, with no effort at all. It quietly removes one of the most repetitive household chores from your life entirely, working away in the background while you are out living it. 10th, the leg and foot massager. Alongside the big massage chair, smaller devices that knead and squeeze the calves and feet are hugely popular in Korean homes, prized for easing tired legs and helping circulation after a long day standing or walking. You slip your feet and lower legs in, switch it on, and let it work while you relax on the sofa. It quietly delivers a bit of daily pampering and genuine relief to the part of the body that takes the most punishment but gets the least attention. Especially for anyone on their feet all day, it turns the evening wind down into something your aching legs will actively thank you for. 11th, the air circulator. Different from an ordinary fan, the Korean favorite air circulator throws a focused, powerful column of air clear across the room, keeping the whole space evenly mixed rather than just blowing on whoever sits in front of it. Paired with an air conditioner or heater, it spreads the comfortable air into every corner, so there are no hot or cold pockets, and the climate control works far more efficiently. It quietly fixes the uneven, stuffy feeling of a room where the air just sits there. Small, quiet, and energy-sipping. 12th, the handheld garment steamer. The quick handheld clothes steamer is a Korean household staple, smoothing wrinkles out of shirts, dresses, and suits in seconds, straight on the hanger, with no ironing board and no fuss. You just glide the steam over the fabric and watch the creases fall away. It quietly replaces the whole tedious ritual of dragging out an ironing board and carefully pressing each garment. For busy mornings, for delicate fabrics that fear a hot iron, and for travel, it is endlessly handy, getting you out the door looking sharp in a fraction of the time. Once it lives by your closet, the old iron mostly gathers dust. 13th, the compact countertop dishwasher. Not every Korean kitchen has room for a full built-in dishwasher, so compact countertop models became popular, small enough to sit on the counter, yet powerful enough to handle a household's daily dishes, some needing no permanent plumbing at all. You load it, press start, and reclaim the time you would have spent at the sink. It quietly brings the freedom of a dishwasher to small kitchens and rented apartments that could never fit a big one. For anyone who has resigned themselves to washing every dish by hand simply for lack of space, it is a small, clever liberation that hands back a chunk of every single evening. Look at all 13 of these and notice the common thread. Not one of them is a flashy gadget for showing off. They are humble, practical machines that each quietly kill off one specific household chore or discomfort: the cold bed, the wet laundry, the smelly bin, the aching legs, the pile of dishes. None of them will change the world. They will just make your particular corner of it noticeably easier, day after day, in ways you feel but rarely have to think about. That is the quiet genius of the Korean home, a steady faith that even the smallest daily annoyance is worth inventing something to solve. None of them demand that you change how you live. They simply quietly subtract one more small burden from your day and ask for nothing in return. And once these little machines are in your life, you genuinely never want to give a single one of them back.